And I go on.
Episode 236.
I wanted to talk first. I guess I did.
You did talk first.
By accident. I wanted to know, am I on, like, do I talk and all of that good stuff? Should I do the intro now or should I wait?
Why not? You don't have the
new and
music to wait for
improved.
anymore. We switched it up.
Jared Poland, FronosPhoto.com, and welcome back
Welcome.
to RAWtalk. This is episode 236. We're starting that. We'll call it season 32.
Technically, like season 3.
Well, it's the
like third version, rendition, whatever you want to call it.
It's like the third shift. I mean, there's been actually more than 3 shifts of RAWtalk.
Probably 4, actually, if you think from audio to video with just like a GoPro to multi-camera to Todd.
Well,
to
yeah,
here?
well,
maybe I don't know.
I don't remember. There was my kitchen and all that good stuff. Anyway, we
we
welcome you guys back. We are doing this live on Fridays at 3 as of right now. That's what we are planning to do.
Eastern Standard Time.
3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're doing it live. Todd has a new seat over there. Todd also is sitting using his Microsoft. We have a Microsoft Surface Studio. That's the same thing we've been using for the the flying solos. So he is sitting there viewing the chat that's going on. So you have the option of doing super chat. If you do that, we'll obviously probably answer your question.
We'll like you. We'll actually like you.
What did he say?
He said we'll actually like you.
Oh, yeah. So, and also at the end of the show, we will be doing flying solo right here for people that are watching live. So that's your opportunity to talk with us live, get your questions answered, and
throughout the show, on occasion, Todd might throw out something if it pertains to photo news or something like that, whatever we're discussing at the time.
So the way that the show will work, we've brought photo news back.
Yeah.
We've put flying solo back in at the end. Yes. Todd has no soundboard except for the one in his mouth.
Soundboard is coming back soon.
Yeah, so
yes,
take a little bit from the Real Talk show and take a little bit from RAWtalk, as we've always done RAWtalk. And
it'll still evolve, too. I mean, we're starting it fresh again this year to a certain extent, but we're going to introduce probably new segments. And
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But we're trying to, we'll do it live. I mean, that's why we have this gear. That's why we've got that over there. That's why we've got all of us. Oh, so let's talk about, can I talk about one thing? Because I had my birthday last week.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thank you. Nobody got me a gift.
Whatever. I got you a gift for sure, and it sat here on the table in here just like I anticipated. I was like, if I give you this and it sits here and it's still here when I get back,
Jared's notorious
are an a-hole
for leaving
and
stuff around.
Apparently, you're an a-hole.
Well, am I supposed to wear it?
Yes.
I would burn it.
Trying to get you out of these dang I Shoot Raw shirts.
Oh,
snap!
I got the power.
That is new and improved. That is new and improved for sure.
Yeah.
What was the He-Man behind the toys thing on Netflix?
It was Toys, the toy show.
That was
on Netflix.
incredible.
That was good.
Anybody
that was really
see that?
Good.
Really
that
good.
was really good.
Yeah, so Todd got me this shirt. I'll probably change out of it soon, but it is the Masters of the Universe shirt. I grew up with He-Man, giving me a false sense of what I'm supposed to look like, but now I'm getting ever so closer to looking like He-Man.
Not even close.
By having these guns.
Not even close.
Except my guns don't show up as well in this shirt, so I'll have to change it pretty soon.
You should have got an extra medium, Todd. You screwed up.
I did.
One job.
Oh, well.
Lots of happy birthdays in the comments, Jared, so you got a lot of love there. Also, a lot of love for Steven's hair. So there's that going on.
Fresh to death.
It's weird. Steven has like 73 different haircut options. He goes from the spiky to the forward.
To the bowl cut to this fresh cut. I had to switch it up, dude, after like 20 years of the same haircut. I think it was about time.
Me too.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Hashtag.
One day. One day.
It's too soon, Todd.
Did you say hashtag?
I said
soon.
hashtag.
Too soon.
I said me too. Hashtag. I don't think that's what it meant.
Great way to start the show.
I'm sorry. I offended the women before we even started, or some men too, because hashtag me too isn't just for the women.
That's true.
It could also be for the men.
That's true.
So where did I want to go in? Oh, let's talk about the new set.
Yes.
Why don't you talk about what changed and why you came up with this design?
It actually, in the grand scheme of things, might look almost exactly the same, minus a few color changes. And obviously, we have a new TV. We have the new Samsung 55-inch one, correct?
That's correct.
So basically, our new setup is Todd will be monitoring questions throughout the show and asking them as we go, if he's paying attention, which he probably won't be like now. his feed is splitting into our switcher, also into the TV. So whatever you see on the TV is basically what Todd is controlling. We have a slideshow set up throughout the show when we do photo news or anything that is topical and we want to show on the screen visual-wise. We can pop that on the screen.
Can I say something?
Sure.
The Surface Pro, we had it for
A minute.
a while
Yeah.
before we even found how we would end up using it.
And I did not think we were going to use it like this.
No, but we go out through the lightning. Well, it's not
Display
lightning,
port.
display port.
Yep.
And we go into the switcher. But whatever. The 28-inch screen on that thing.
Incredible.
The touch screen is such an amazing function. The way that you can bend that computer, the way that you can click things like that. I don't know that I can recommend this computer for heavy lifting because of the power constraints that it has. Generation 1.
Yep.
I think that Generation 2, once they got the proof of concept out, Generation 2 should really be much faster.
Yeah, beautiful screen, but just not enough processing power, in my opinion. Quick little review. But so we also gelled the background. We gave it more of a warm look, more of a tungsten look, just to add a little, separation
Little
between
bit
us
of
and
drama.
the background.
Little
A little bit
drama.
of drama.
Yeah, exactly.
Victory! But in the beginning, we wiped this entire room clean and started fresh. We tried to switch the set around, see what would work, see what wouldn't work, and basically we ended up doing almost the same exact setup because that's just kind of what works in this room.
Well, the setup for us, we wanted to move Todd further away from us.
Basically, Todd's the only one that moved for the most part.
We
also
the reason for moving Todd is like we know that when you guys watch Real Talk, you love the discussions.
Yeah.
We knew that all along. We love the discussions. So Todd's gonna chime in with our discussions. Less of the Meredith and that stuff. They may show up every once in a while.
Sure, of course.
You never know, but Todd has a lot of input to add, and I think a lot of people out there didn't understand that because all they ever saw was Todd on RAWtalk. But then when you get to see Todd actually have conversations, then it's
quite pleasant.
a little different.
But I mean, we had to.
And I was also, we started plugging into my computer for some of the latter shows,
Yes.
and I started sending stuff into the
switcher.
box, and then we realized like, oh, I could probably control some more things, make the show a little bit more dynamic if I had control of some of this stuff. So once this set was set up, it kind of all fell into place.
Noise.
I think people don't realize how much goes into a set like this too. Just the whole live aspect of
we
it.
had to build the brick.
I mean, we had to build the whole but just running the cables, cable management, such a pain in the ass. We had to move the entire switcher over to
Do
the
a
side
behind
of
the
the wall.
scenes again of this.
It's a very in-depth behind the scenes, and I'm looking forward to a video like that to show exactly how complicated something like this is.
I mean, why do you have to
Show
go and
off.
make things so complicated?
Exactly.
Avril.
Yeah.
So why don't we talk about
So the show's going to be every Friday at 3, right?
if you were listening at the beginning, yes.
All right, well, here's my slide then.
Todd's already off
I
to a
didn't hear
great
you
start.
say that. I didn't hear you say that. It's
Good
really
job, Todd.
complicated. I got a lot going on right now.
This is what makes me nervous. Is Todd is in control of all the slides, and I guarantee he's.
But
gonna be
there's
a
so
little
many
late.
words over here on the right side. So many words.
Can we
Wait till
get-
we get into photo news,
Can
and
we
there's
get
like
back
50
to the
slides.
regular slide? Thanks. So I wanted to talk about a little Real Talk moment. Talk about we filmed, was that yesterday or 2 days ago we did the intro, the new intro.
2 days ago we did the intro. Yesterday Todd edited it.
Can Dan run the new intro without a problem?
Music will play.
That's fine.
Okay. Run it again, Dan.
And then we'll talk about how this is. Todd, talk us through some of this stuff.
It's gonna be a thing.
That's all right. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, well,
Blah, blah, blah.
Now you can talk.
go ahead,
Yeah.
Todd.
I mean, all of it we shot on the crane, that Kessler crane that we've
Yeah, we
been
finally
raving
busted out the
about for
jib.
years.
Yep.
We did all that.
Talk
So,
about what camera you used.
6D Mark II.
Hey, Canon, send us a check for that.
Because
Just kidding.
Well, because the first thing I said is, well, what camera do we have that's got the dual pixel? And that was the one that we had with the full frame. Plus, it's got that articulating screen, perfect for the crane, so you can, be up here, down low. And I just ran around with that, and, Steven shot me, and I basically swapped out stuff from the last one. So it's a best of both worlds. I think it came out good.
Well, so what was interesting, the first time I watched it, I had them play back the last part again, and I'm like, did that just go from focusing on us to focusing on the back of the camera? I'm like, did you pull all that with the dual pixel AF?
I pulled that manually. Stunning.
Every night.
Hey.
But that was definitely an amazing pull right there.
Oh,
That's what's great about the dual pixel.
When we were shooting it, I was like, this is unbelievable. Just going from back of the camera and jumping right back up, and focus was rock solid.
I will say the only thing about the 6D Mark II that I don't love is that you can't necessarily control the move of the rack focus. You can't really say if it's fast or slow. It just kind of has an automatically default set rack focus speed. So with the 5D or the 80D even, it lets you control how fast or slow your pulls are.
The 80D does as well?
Yeah, the 80D. Yeah, the 80D does.
Huh.
Which means the 7070 may too.
Maybe, but the 77D really didn't do too well with video. They didn't give it nearly as many features as the 80D.
What's still insane is that they have dual pixel AF in their Rebel up.
Yeah.
Now they've put it in every camera, including Gear of the Week this week, which we'll get to that
I
soon.
really thought it would be reserved for the full frame cameras, but no, they surprised me with that. And Canon usually doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So there's that. Now I'll ask you guys, because you're watching live, what sections would you like to see in RAWtalk added? We've done critiques in the past. Would you like to see some live critiques happening like we used to do, or throw in some of the rapid fire critiques that I do with separate videos? Would you like to see some of that in here as well? Leave some comments. Todd will monitor, and yeah.
As best I can. I will watch these.
Is it moving
as
too
best I
fast?
can. No, it's pretty good. Everybody's just loving it and giving shout outs to me. No, I'm not controlling the camera changes. That's Dan. Dan's over.
Which we need to watch. I guess we don't have an input
You can't
for
see
showing
Dan. He's kind of in
No.
between me and the guys. I'm just controlling what's on their television.
Yeah, we basically took some weight off Dan's shoulders and let Todd do most of the B-roll switching while Dan can just stick to the show and the production stuff.
We also
Makes
put
it a
him
lot
against
easier.
the wall.
We put him against the wall, yeah. Yeah.
Against the wall.
But speaking of new segments, I do want to bring up if you guys can think of anything about somehow incorporating RAWtalk into this, whether it be a 5-minute segment video related. I don't really want to do video news, but something that maybe Todd and I could discuss a little video section. We don't know what
I threw that in at the beginning. Though.
Yeah, we don't know what it could be, what it would be, but if you guys have any good suggestions, then let us know, and we'll just keep evolving the show as this year progresses.
I just like the intro. I did do some filming behind the scenes of the intro. That's over on Facebook Live. I did do that so you could watch as Todd was moving. I did maybe 20 minutes of that with my phone so you guys could see that and just see some of the movements Todd was doing. It's pretty interesting to see what happens. You shoot for a couple hours and then you get a 12-second intro.
Yeah. Yeah, we shot for 2 or 3 hours that day.
But it does come together. So that's section 1. Segment 1. I have segments on my paper now.
Look at you.
I'm more professional. Let's go to segment 2.
Ooh, segment 2.
Well,
Following along?
We'll talk about the new year.
Yeah.
What have we been up to? Steven, what did you start the year off doing here?
The real world review.
Oh, well, you were doing that for a
Is that
while.
what you're talking about?
No, the cleaning part.
Oh, okay. Before we get to that, then, the cleaning process. So basically, we had to organize this entire place. Since we moved in, 8 months ago now, maybe?
Oh, no.
Has it been longer or less
It's
time?
probably longer than that.
So let's say almost a year.
Because
It was only going to take 3 months, though, to get everything in here.
I bought it 2 years ago. Is today the 25th or 26th?
Today's 26th.
I bought my house 5 years ago on the 25th.
Really?
Yeah, 5 years ago on the 25th was when I closed on the house.
Wow. I remember when you bought that place.
I know. So
I remember at your
it's the
old
5th
place when
year.
you were looking at that place.
I know. It's insane I've been in a place that long. This was possibly the end of January.
Okay.
So this is coming up on 2 years now, but we obviously weren't in for
We didn't get in
a
until
year.
early summer, I'd say.
Wow.
About that. So yeah, almost. No, I think we're looking at like 8 months or so. But anyway, we brought everything over from Jared's place, and this place was just a mess. I never got to organize anything because we never really had shelving or really space. We never had space because a lot of the work was still being done. So I didn't want to organize everything on a shelf and then have to move it, take everything down. So I took about a week cleaning everything up.
Dan still has coffee over on his desk. That was supposed to be a no-no. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, you just dock him $10,000 out of his check.
Yeah. Knock that over. Ruin that. Actually, he won't ruin it. You want to know why? Because the floor is tilted. It's just going to land on his lap. So if it spills, make sure you spill it forward so it rolls down the table onto you, Dan.
Exactly.
But the other thing we were working on was sets.
I think it would be interesting. To have a Dan cam. If
we were talking about like
just like a wide, like a fisheye over, like a fisheye shot.
So right now we are completely full on inputs. The only way
Get another box.
Please get another box. It's only like $10,000. It's pretty cheap.
man.
It's affordable. But we are completely full on inputs. Now, I could add a switcher going into one of those inputs, but then that would just add a lot more work to Dan when he's only probably cutting
poor
to himself.
Dan. I thought I took all of his work from him anyways.
But
He
I'm
doesn't
saying,
have anything to switch to now.
Is it worth that whole setup when Dan would probably cut to himself like once during a show?
You think Dan would only switch to himself once during the show?
Oh,
Did
I
you
guarantee-
see when he had the GoPro before? Every
shaking his
13
head.
minutes.
I guarantee it. Yeah.
Wrong one, Dan. You meant to cut to Todd.
Here's Dan's edit. Here's Dan's angle.
But I do want to add some sort of master wide because there's really no context as to where, like, how far Todd is away from us. He's literally across the room.
I could do an Insta story. Don't leave the show, but don't leave the show right meow.
They're probably watching
I already
on their
did the
phone.
I already did the Insta story earlier.
Well,
I showed.
maybe you could do a Facebook Live after the show.
Well,
You can walk around.
we got the organization down.
Yep. Which was the biggest thing for me. I've been wanting to do that forever. We just never have
OCD.
time. Yes, OCD, because when we want to shoot something, it's got to happen right then and there, and I don't want to take time to look or search for something. I should just be able to grab it and go.
So that's the organizational part. The bowling alley table has gotten a new leg,
Yes.
which has helped it straighten itself out. It had a little bit of scoliosis going, and now it's been straightened out, kind of like Forrest Gump's legs.
I thought it was going to snap in half. I
At
was
some
waiting for
point, it probably would have fallen on its own, but
Yep.
that's not our designer's fault. It's just it's 1950s bowling alley, but now it's perfect. He built a really awesome base for it.
Super stable, able to hold all the things that Jared walks by and just leaves there and never picks back up.
Yeah, so what I have on there right now is Nikon sent us a nice loaner gift bag, and I just put that up on Instagram, so you could go over on Instagram and on Facebook to see what it is. But there's some nice stuff, and it's loaner stuff. We don't get to keep it. We get to use it. We use the Nikon stuff to film these shows. We use the D850 to do
Photo News
Fix because of the 4K that's full frame.
and flying solo.
It's just good like that.
We're using D750s still for this show, and it's great.
Well, yeah, they do 1080 and they do what they need to do.
Yeah.
So that's on the organizational part. Now, I want to talk about the process part.
The process.
Process is, trust the process is what the Sixers say. For us, it's getting to the process. Getting the processes in order that allow us to make specific content easier. That is the content that we can rely on when we are doing the shooting videos, when we are doing real-world reviews and 5-minute portraits, because those are the types of videos that, one, you guys really love and we like making. They take longer to make, like the one from the Sony A7R III. Took a while because we had a lot going on at the end of the year after we got back from that thing, but that is a tremendous review.
So speaking of the A7R III review, that one was 11 hours of footage maybe that we came back with. We had 3 days of shooting in Sedona with Sony, and that was just a beast of a review. The main thing is that we had other videos that were priority, and then the holidays came, the new year, and it just took a little while to finally get my hands on. But it did take almost probably 2 weeks to edit that beast.
Yeah,
It was a big review,
we're gonna
probably our
figure out-
biggest.
We'll figure out what to do
Yeah.
moving forward, but that's what the process is all about. Yeah, Todd?
I've got some super chat shout outs I want to chime in.
First off, how much is it for lunch?
I think we've probably got about $17 so far, maybe.
Yes.
So we're working towards lunch. Keith Noir gets a shout out. Jonathan Paolo gets a shout out. He gave us a nice little chunk, as well as Mike Crawford. He gave us $5 to not show a shot of Dan. So
He's my favorite.
that's
Yeah,
he's got
I-
that going on.
So if you guys want to play super chat game,
Super chat roulette.
So I'll say this now: super chat will not get you a chance to spin the wheel. The wheel's not in the show this week because I've got to put new stuff on the wheel, including a bag.
No, bags. Plural.
Yeah, no, there won't be 12
Just
bags.
12
on there.
bags.
But the way that we're going to end up doing the
12 bags.
win. The way that we're going to end up doing Wheel of Fro is if you are watching the show live, we will tell you exactly how you can get entered to win. There's going to be T-shirts up there. There's going to be guides up there, and you're going to have to watch live to get a chance to spin to win.
I think that's cool.
And
then there will be a big grand prize, an excellent bag.
A bag.
no, there's going to be a sliver.
It's gonna be like the
I'm
smallest.
going to
You
draw
can't even
a
see
sliver
it.
in between the sliver, so it's going to have to bounce back and
like
forth
2 millimeters
to nail
thick.
the bag.
Steve and I are going to come in and weight the wheel
Yep.
down just
Yep.
so it hits that every time.
Exactly.
So really, that's our goal. More real-world
Yeah.
reviews, more 5-minute portraits, more shooting videos. And in order to get to that place, without me. Well, I've already jumped off the bridge 17 times.
It's true.
17 times yesterday.
Yep.
Was I yesterday? I had the therapist yesterday.
Oh.
I don't even want to go anymore.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still. I just don't even want to. I don't even understand the point. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, you're asking me questions about cameras. You should be paying me. He's like, so you're saying that my Mac that I can have my same thing on my phone as is on my computer and that works? He's like, I'm like, yeah, we're in a session here to talk about me.
Session over.
Can we talk about me more? This is about me, not about your computer. That's an exaggeration, but mostly true.
But back to workflow, another thing we were working on was getting everything up into the cloud, a crazy, awesome backup system solution that we need here. And we finally got it down to now where we have a whole server rack set up, also constantly backing up.
Synology server. Thank you for the server.
Every night. It's great.
Synology gave us the server to test out, along with 8 10-terabyte Iron Wolf Seagate drives, and I had to buy 4 10-terabyte Iron Wolf drives. So we've got those things cranking.
Was it like 96 terabytes, I think?
Well, after the 120 and then the redundant part and
yeah.
then and that. So the cloud, everybody asks about the cloud, right? It's insane what's going on. We've moved up 40 terabytes into the cloud.
Quick, too.
Well, we're using Dropbox Business because a friend of mine, Colin, who's another photographer in Philly, he said that he backs up his entire Drobo to the Dropbox cloud because he has Dropbox for Business. So how it works is you need to have 3 Dropbox Business licenses per month to get access to the as much storage as you need, which in essence is unlimited, but I'll tell you about that in a second. And so what happens is, oh yeah, it's $60 a month. It's $20 per license. So I prepaid the $720 a year for the year, and that gives us the ability to store unlimited. But what happens is once you get to like 1 terabyte within to the limit, that it like stops, and then you have to get on chat and say, hey, can you give us more? And luckily, in the past couple, I've figured out how to tell them I want more quicker. And now they've cleared up to 50-some terabytes, so we're ahead of the game.
Well, what do you get started with? Just 1 terabyte or like 10 terabytes?
I mean, I think it's
for business.
Unlimited. I think it was just.
I know they're unlimited.
Look,
it's still capped
I think it
in
was
the
just
beginning.
1 or 2, and then I would send them a message, say, hey, we're going to be moving 10 terabytes. Can we get more? And they're like, well, we can only allot for 2, but then we can escalate it.
Yeah.
Now the last girl, she gave us 10 right like that.
Gotcha.
We went from 38 to 48, and we learned that it's really slow for uploading photos, but really fast much faster for uploading video.
But moral of the story basically is we now have a better workflow down. We now have the process down. And we're going to start doing a lot more shooting videos.
Starting to get the product. We're almost there.
Yeah.
And one more thing about Dropbox is another thing that's great about it. We can access those files from anywhere in the world or on our phone and send a link to ourselves or send a link to anybody. If I need to access any of my photos in my archive,
boom.
It may be interesting to I know where they're in that folder.
Yeah, have fun finding that.
But it's dated by
They're in
year.
the folder.
6 terabytes
Imagine
worth
that.
of data.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I could get to it. So is that it?
I think that's it pretty much.
Hands on, plug.
More
It says plug.
super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat.
You do not have a soundboard.
I do have a soundboard. Mike just sent us $20
Whoa.
for more headroom. LOL.
For who?
So
You?
apparently, I don't know who needs more headroom. I don't know.
Mike, what's Mike's name?
Yeah, who needs more headroom?
It was just Mike. Just Mike.
Wait, is that your mic?
I got plenty of headroom.
No, not my buddy Mike. And then somebody named Huggin gave us $50
Dollars?
SEK.
Seek.
What's that?
Seek.
What's that?
Yeah.
Seek. Exactly.
What's that? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's not a lot. What color is it?
Green.
Yeah, I don't know how much a 50 Seek is, but hopefully it's a lot. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Nice
everybody.
lunch today.
Todd, can I get my T-shirt plug? It's time for plug before photo news.
Oh, this is exciting.
Todd, hit the right button. Don't screw it up. And there we go.
Ooh.
Guys, I've got a code for everybody. If you go to store.froknowsphoto.com, use the code IShootRaw, all one word, to get 19% off your entire, shirts that are priced $16.99 regularly priced. So you don't get them off on discounted shirts or the 7-day deal, and you won't get it off on the bag either because I made sure that it wouldn't give you 19% off the bag.
What?
And the other thing, Todd, to feed Morgan, go to froknowsphoto.com/guides to check out all of the photo guides, video guides that we offer to help support the show. Your super chats are great, These things are really cool too. Let's get into photo news, which we brought back.
We
Hey,
did.
did we have photo news music before?
Oh, remember
we used
that?
to do audio blocks.
We used to do the audio blocks and do
Yeah.
but it wasn't live. So
No,
remember, we would
it's-
just
well, we would
dance
just
to
make
nothing,
pretend.
and then I would throw something in after. And
I
it
remember.
usually like never matched up. Or,
Okay, all right. So let's get to photo news. It's not the fix. It's photo. Can we get another screen, Todd? Can you?
Well,
like,
I have another screen right there, photo news. But I will say, you guys didn't mention that the A7R3 real world review is out.
Actually, we did mention that. You just happened to not.
Oh, here,
check
there
that
you
slide
go.
out.
There's that.
Yeah, way to be on it,
So
Todd.
yeah, when they talked about that, that's what you should have seen.
Did you add? Was that the rim light on my face? Was it like that?
That's exactly what you sent me.
Yeah.
So,
perfect.
I
That's
didn't-
actually from the Sony A7R3.
I thought it was an actually like a tracking
screenshot
shot
from the
of
camera.
you.
Yeah, Steven did a good job. He pulled that. I edited it in Lightroom, and there
and
it is.
that's the freaking Atomos on top, which was really cool having that EVF look the entire time.
It is so cool. I
Yeah.
got an email from a guy's like, what were you using? Because I want to shoot weddings
It was
that
the
way.
Atomos Ninja Star.
Which I've never heard anything about.
It was
since.
meant for drones. Yeah, they came out with it and really just kind of flopped.
But it
was
worked-
great for that.
worked for that.
Yep.
News.
But I do want to preface the news before we get too deep into it. This is not the fix. This is more of the long form piece of news, just like it was before.
Yeah.
We're bringing that back, more of a discussion. Long form. Yep.
And if you want your photo news fix, they come out on Wednesdays. We moved it to Wednesday because it's more time to have news. And so every Wednesday we have photo news fix, and that's the fix part. Like fix is like you want that quick fix. You want that. Speaking of quick fixes, there's my needle mark. I just had my
Is that from this
physical.
morning?
No, the physical.
Here with Gluten Charlie.
No, because out front of the factory, there was the porta potty from the construction next door, the one that the guy died in from a heroin overdose last time.
Jeez.
They have it in front of my property, so I asked them to move it. So they did. They slid it. When they slid it, underneath it were 9 hypodermics just laying there under the porta potty. So I went back. I got the grabber stick, like old people used to grab things from the top shelf. I grabbed the sharp spin. What, Todd?
Nothing.
The sharp spin.
They're all
and
Todd's.
We threw them out. All right. Sorry. Get this news.
Let's see if Todd can keep up with me. You ready, Todd? Instagram now shows people when they were last online with the app, which is kind of creepy.
I thought it was nudes. It was just like dick pics or something.
This is actually Todd's app. This is all Todd's DMs.
Can't show you this.
They're all blurred out.
I was like, dick pics?
So this is dubbed Activity Status. The new feature allows people you follow or have previously direct messaged to see how long ago they used the app. Again, very creepy. So now claiming you haven't checked Instagram when, say, someone asks why you haven't replied to
Is
their
it really
DM.
that creepy?
I think it's pretty creepy.
I turned it off.
I turned it off right away. But that won't work as well when you say, I didn't check my Instagram. Now they're going to know that you obviously did check it. The timestamp now appears next to your username in the DMs, just like shown. The feature is now enabled by default, too, after the most recent Instagram update. But there is good news. You can disable it like we did. To turn it off, you head to your settings in your profile and scroll down.
Whose profile is this?
This is from Petapixel, I think. Until you see the show activity status, and then you disable it. Oh, Todd's actually keeping up. It does work both ways, though.
Wait, can I interrupt you, Steven?
Sure.
Dan, can you cut to me? This just reminds me of the old days when we did news and Steven used to get upset with me. I used to...
And it's just like the old days.
I'm
Still
interrupting.
upset.
All right, let's get back to Steven.
It does work both ways, though. So if you wanted to go into stalker mode on, say, like your ex or something, you'll need to leave your status enabled so you can see theirs, too. Now,
Oh, so if you turn yours off...
you can't see anybody else's,
I don't
and
give
they
a
can't
shit.
see yours.
Like,
Yes.
I don't care.
I don't care at all. I don't really see the point of it, to be
No,
honest.
that's a stupid feature.
I also hate how Instagram and Facebook buries your messages from users you don't follow or aren't friends with.
No,
if
I
you ever
don't.
click the other
Oh,
messages,
I don't care because...
do you still check it?
Occasionally I'll go back and scroll through, but at lunch today, the guy's like, hey, I sent you a message. I'm like, I don't follow you, so I wouldn't have gotten it.
I have people that literally will message me on all of my social medias and be like, I messaged you a million times on Facebook. And I'm like, dude, we're not friends on Facebook.
You're an
I don't
asshole.
see it.
Why don't you reply to people, Steven?
I don't check my other
seriously,
folder.
Steven.
I can't believe you do that.
Yeah.
I know. It's just wrong.
And then same
man.
with Instagram with the little DMs. You have to hit the little feather icon in the top right, and then that brings you to all the people that you don't follow, which I never check. They've also introduced GIF stickers for stories for anyone that really cares. But
You mean
basically
GIFs.
animated stickers.
You mean
Not
GIFs.
Peter Pan?
GIFs,
You mean GIFs.
just like the peanut butter.
Peter Pan.
According to research company the NPD Group, Nikon officially became...
ODB Group.
This is not the Photo News Fix.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not the same jokes.
I wrote the script.
Nikon officially became the #1 best-selling brand for full-frame cameras during the 2017 holiday season, aka December, in the United States. Now, the same research company crowned Sony with the #2 spot.
Wait, what? What color was that crown?
for full-frame cameras back in early 2017. Now, the #1 spot was earned due to the overwhelming success of the D850 along with healthy sales.
How
of
did
the
they sell enough
D750.
D850s when we just got 3 of them?
What I don't get is they were sold out and out of stock for the longest time. I don't know how they kept selling them to really have a good year. Good December, I should say.
That reminds me of a song, Steven.
What?
You said Good December?
Long December?
Yeah, can we not leave it cut onto the... What? Oh, I'm looking over here. I'm an asshole. I'm sorry, Dan.
Jeez. So they claim the
Do your job, Jared.
I'm sorry. I thought this... I'm looking at the feed and I'm my bad.
Squirrel.
They claim the D850 and D750 were the top-selling models of DSLRs as well, which is crazy that the D750 still sells that well.
Yeah.
You would think by now a 3, maybe 4-year-old camera at this point.
Well, it's priced to sell at just
It's
above
definitely priced to sell.
$1,000.
When did they act? I thought it's 1,700. I don't think it's just
1,200?
1,000. I think you're thinking of the D610.
Is that even around anymore, or does it still have oil marks?
I'm pretty sure they still sell it. Yeah, the D610 was supposed to fix.
I
the oil
can't believe they're
marks.
still selling D750s, but there really isn't another option. The D500 doesn't. It's not that.
I'm just shocked that it's taking them this long to come out with a replacement of both the D610 and the D750.
You want me to stir up some controversy? Like,
Yeah.
I could
Yes,
be like,
please.
that you know of.
Are you winking?
No, I'm blinking.
No, that's
tell.
just his normal eyes.
Last week I went to the eye doctors, all right?
Now, compared to the previous December, Nikon had double-digit growth in both units sold and dollars pulled in from full-frame cameras, 81% and 88% increase, they say. Now, Nikon president and CEO Bo Kajiwara says Nikon has returned to an emphasis on high-end products for advanced and professional users.
So are they saying that they went away from selling high-end
That's what
products?
it seems like, yeah. These users appreciate Nikon's full-frame offerings because of their amazing image quality, reliability, low light capability, and high-speed performance. Nikon is an innovative, diversified company with a clear long-term strategy to thrive into 2018 and beyond.
See, that
Yeah.
statement, I really wanted to say, in Fix, I can't really comment, I can't say too much because we want to keep it quick, but that is such wishful thinking there.
For sure.
It's like, say all the things you want people to think you are. Well, I mean, I guess that.
But why
does-
would you
I guess
say
that's-
something that you
Well,
aren't?
no, I guess that's how things work in this country. I mean, you tell if you say it enough, maybe people will think it. There was
I mean,
no
you got to
collusion.
be positive and hopeful.
There's no
and-
collusion.
Yeah.
No collusion.
I mean, to me, this is
Jesus, we weren't supposed to go there, were we?
Nope.
this really is proof that all you have to do is like listen to your customers and give them what they want. D850, D500, D5. If only Canon would follow suit, maybe they could eventually
Mirrorless
be number one like that.
camera.
Yeah, mirrorless
Silent
camera.
shooting.
Well, that's where 2018 is going to be. That's why it's going to be an interesting year because you have Canon with their promised full-frame mirrorless camera, Nikon with their promised full-frame mirrorless camera.
Sony with their promised mirrored
Yeah.
camera.
What's it going to be though? Well, A99 is already mirrored camera, but with Canon and Nikon, is that going to be? Are they just going to make it like an M5 full frame?
No, man. I think they're gonna
Completely
literally
different?
I think
Start
this-
fresh?
Here's what I think they do. This is what I think happened. They went and bought some Sony A7R3s. Why not?
Strip the
No,
guts.
No.
Put a Canon sensor.
No, seriously. They're going to look at the form factor and they're going to be like, well, how can we make this more Nikon? How can we make this more Canon? Of
course.
You're going to see a different mount, possibly. We've seen that rumor for the Nikon.
And that to me is where they'll either win or lose. Will it be a native EF mount? Will native F mount? You know, what will it be?
But the difference that the thing is that the Nikon, like the Canon with the M5, has a native adapter.
A native adapter? I mean,
Native adapter.
yes, but it's
Canon
still
makes it
an
and it
adapter,
works. Yes,
is all I'm saying.
But it doesn't degrade quality. It doesn't take away from anything.
No.
Whereas if you put Canon lenses on a Sony, you are losing functionality.
Focus speed usually,
So,
yeah.
but I have no problem adapting my native Nikon lens with a Nikon adapter that's designed and built to work as a work through. I don't know about buying Z mount glass or whatever the hell they're doing. If they do that, it would be great if they could make it a F mount. But this is their opportunity to change it up. And you know, Canon years ago in the 90s got rid of their original mount so that they could get bigger glass.
yeah, we'll see what happens.
How's the chat working out, Todd?
Great. Huggin, that 50 Seek is Swedish.
Kroner?
Something
It's Kroner.
like that. And he actually had a question. Jared, you're going to Finland. Will you do something more while in Scandinavia? If you come to Stockholm, there's even more beer money in it for you.
Well, Jared hates beer,
don't drink
but
beer.
I will come for that.
Swedish women every corner.
Swedish fish.
Ayo.
Swedish fish.
Swedish fish.
I don't
Big
know
fan.
if I'm gonna
Swedish chef.
if I don't know if I'm going to go to the Sweden, the Borka or not. It's not far, so we'll see. We'll
And
see.
also, I got to give a shout out to Nicholas Cora, who gave us $50.
No way.
Hey guys, love the show, and I'm glad to see it back. Enjoying the live show. Enjoy part of your lunch on me.
My
That's
man,
a big part.
Nicholas.
Thank you. We really do appreciate
Todd,
it.
Yes,
get that.
thank you.
Get Nicholas's information somehow.
Send him something.
Get an email.
That's
Can
great.
you get that somehow?
I don't know.
Nicholas, somehow give Todd your email address. What are you looking at?
I
Dan?
wouldn't leave it on the chat though. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
I have his name. I have it in my notes.
Well, that's not easy to figure out how to get. Nicholas,
Well, piss off.
email shipping@fronosphoto.com.
I can't wait till you get like 20 emails claiming they're Nicholas.
Oh, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. Next news story, Todd. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Adobe has updated Photoshop CC to version 19.1, which
Could you
brings
imagine if you had to buy every time there's an update?
Version
for all
1
the
to
people
19?
for all the people that bitch about the $10 a month that we get Photoshop and Lightroom, that you're not like having to go pay more to get something else because they just came out with this feature that's going to save you hours of time?
the $9.99 a month is a steal in my opinion.
In your opinion.
In my opinion.
Stop counting people's money, Steven.
That's what I'm saying, Steven.
Subjective.
Just
for
because
sure.
you got a slick haircut doesn't mean everybody's rich like you.
So this brings a new feature called Select Subject. The new tool lets users simply cut out a subject from a background with a single click using Adobe's new AI Sensei. Subjects can range from humans to animals to just about really any prominent item in the foreground. It'll even work for multiple subjects like a family portrait. Here's how it works. Users click on the magic lasso tool, then choose the Select Subject button, and voila, it's basically that easy. Now, it's obviously not perfect, especially for subjects with afros like the one you're seeing now, but you can go back in there after using the tool and refine your selection if
I'm
it
not the
wasn't
tool.
spot on. I mean, I'd
the,
say you are.
The crazy thing is it works. Like,
It-
look at this.
It works for a simple cutout, quick cutout.
But even for the
sure.
other one we tested, it did really well. So here, what I'm doing is I'm inversing so I could select it and see the background. But as I cut it out, yeah, it's a little jaggedy little pills around me,
I mean-
but not around the arms.
I don't expect it to be perfect around an afro. That's just
No.
insane. Around any hair in general.
But even if you go in there and you tighten it up,
That's a good starting point for sure.
I will say it's way
Yeah.
better than Jared's normal Photoshop skills.
Oh, way better
Way
than
better.
his Photoshop.
Nailed it.
Way better.
You need
Nailed
to have
it.
your feather on 1,000, and then that's Jared.
My feather's usually on 4.
And users can update today via the Creative Cloud
This guy
Manager.
is so hot.
This is your favorite from the A7R3 review.
I had when this guy came out on the when we were shooting him at the A7R3 and he had
Did you
that
talk to your therapist about this?
You basically kicked out the female model, and you're like,
kicked
get out of
out
here.
The other
Let
girl.
me get him.
I'm like, I want to shoot him more because he smiled and I was like melted. I was like, my girlfriend
6 to midnight.
My girlfriend would be so happy. Anyway. No, but in all seriousness, he was a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
That does work pretty good, though.
Then we have the next story introducing the
Why don't
Chairpod.
we talk about it real quick?
You want to talk about this?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I was amazed at how well you hit a button and it works. You just hit the button and it works.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about it because it's that simple. It just happens to work. And I know Sensei is something they've been working on for a couple of years now. I think at Adobe Max or something a few years back, they hinted at it, or at least introduced it.
Oh, wow, look at me. I'm cutting out. Ooh. So that was me using the magic pen lasso tool, and then boom, gone. There's a feather. It wasn't perfect.
Yeah, you
That-
and your feather. Turn
that's
that
my
feather
fault.
off.
Not perfect at all.
Yeah, but, oh, well. All right, get that off. Let's get to the next thing.
Wait, but let's talk about it.
No, let's talk about your crappy pen tool. Yeah.
Thanks, Todd.
So again, we now have the Chairpod, which helps you stabilize both your camera and your ass, quite literally, like this guy. This is not a joke. The Chairpod doubles as a chair and a tripod. It was designed by tripod manufacturer Velbon. The Chairpod is basically Velbon.
Yeah, Velbon.
Whatever. You don't know how to pronounce it.
It's Velbon.
The Chairpod is basically a 3-legged folding chair attached to a monopod that supports up to 176 pounds.
What supports 176 pounds? The chair?
The chair.
So if you're
Are
a
you
fatty,
filming
you
me,
can't
or
do
you
it.
just
If
happy
you're a
to see
fatty,
me?
you cannot sit
So
there.
I barely can sit on that. I'm
I cannot
69 pounds.
I am well over 176 pounds, and I cannot sit on there.
Dude, we should test it out.
It'll snap in half.
Velbon, please send us Jeff, get Velbon on the line. We need a couple of these chair pods.
So this thing folds up even flatter than your standard tripod, collapsing down to the thickness of like an ordinary folding chair. The main issue is that you need to be sitting in the chair to give the Chairpod basically any stability at all, without it simply tipping over the cameras.
I could use these at my dinner table because I still don't have a table or chairs.
Are you still sitting on a fold-up chair and table?
Yeah.
I desperately want one of these for any time we're out shooting. I will be sitting the
So I would just
entire
be like,
time.
record, beer, good
Is
to
there?
go.
Yeah, is there? Where's the cup holder?
You got to get your
Chairpod 2.0.
you got to get your tether table.
Yes, my tether table and this thing done and done.
You can, however, use it as a monopod, but unfortunately you'll have to stand like this
Dang
guy's doing.
Those are great jeans.
The chair aspect would need
Those
to be
are
folded
Jared's
up to use
jeans
it as
from
a
the first
monopod.
video guide, by the way.
Now there's no official price yet. No, his were like bell bottoms.
He did have bell bottoms on.
They were not bell bottoms.
They looked like them. No official price point yet, but it's expected to sell around $180.
I know how much it will be.
Too much.
Too much. I was waiting for Dan to cut to my angle, all right? I was waiting to deliver that too much.
And it'll be released later this week, supposedly. Now,
Jeff, get us one of these. We have positive things to say. Todd could use this and the redneck burqa at the same time.
I mean, I do think this would come in handy for like wildlife and sports shooters, like the D5.
Dude, your lens is going to weigh more than the chair, and
But it's still a monopod. I mean, I wonder how sturdy the monopod itself is. But for example, like the D5 setup that we shot at the soccer game.
yeah, I had the walk stool.
You had a monopod and a walk stool. It was basically the same setup.
Yeah, but does it? What, Todd?
What are you laughing at?
Did somebody?
I imagine Dan sitting down on this, putting the camera on it, and it catapults him because he's so light.
I will say,
I'm ready to shoot.
I will say
done.
too. I mean, the monopod's kind of coming from an odd place too. It's a very odd place.
It's called phallic, Steven?
Yes, a little phallic.
Phallic.
But I do think
Does it
like
come in pink?
for the D5, it would work out well when you shot that review.
No, because I like to rotate it. How's that going to work?
I mean, you could
and
still.
I like to do this.
Dude, you barely moved during that review.
It looks like it does have a ball head on the top.
It does. I'm pretty sure it does.
Yeah,
I
it
thought the
looks like it
ball
has
head's
a ball
supposed to be
head.
on the bottom.
That's Jared's favorite type of video head for video.
Yep. And then we have one of the last stories actually coming up. If the DJI Mavic Pro and Spark had a baby, this is what it would look like. Introducing the Mavic Air, DJI's latest drone. Now the new drone can be folded up just like the Mavic Pro, but it's 41% lighter at just under a pound and so compact when folded that it's smaller than the Spark. Best of both worlds, basically. It also has little tiny.
Isn't that
fold-up
Miley
feet.
Cyrus, best of both worlds?
I don't know, man.
Wasn't she Hannah Montana?
Yes, she was Hannah Montana.
She had best of both worlds. All right, I interrupted Todd's thinking here.
But it has little tiny fold-up feet, which I thought kind of cute. The Air sports a 0.5-inch 12-megapixel CMOS sensor with a 35mm equivalent lens of 24mm at f2.8. Now, the main difference between the Spark here is that it has a 3-axis built-in gimbal, while the Spark houses a 2-axis gimbal. It will shoot 4K at up to 30 frames per second at 100 megabits per second, and 1080p slow-mo at up to 120 frames per second. Now, just like the Mavic Pro, it has its own remote, which is smaller in design, but it does actually let you take the thumbsticks off for easy travel, and you can put it in your pocket,
Where
which
do
is
you
nice.
store them?
In your
you have, like, the
pocket.
small little pocket in your pocket?
No, it
I would
actually
put it
has
there.
in the handle. It has a.
Oh, does it
storage.
really?
Yeah, you slide it right into the handle.
That's nice.
Put them in your mouth.
It also can fly faster than the Mavic Pro at 42.5 miles an hour in sport mode, which is great in case of heavy winds. It has a range of 2.5 miles and a battery life of, they say, 21 minutes, which in reality is probably more like 15. Another thing it's better at than the Mavic Pro is obstacle avoidance. Now, the Air comes with a 7-camera obstacle avoidance system. It has an all-new advanced pilot assistance system, too, that will let the drone automatically maneuver around obstacles instead of just simply stopping like every other DJI drone. Now, there's so many times, like, for example, that I want to fly backwards for a reveal, but I have to stop short because of the Mavic Pro running into, like, a freaking mountain or something, like the A7R3 review that we did, for example. I didn't want to go back too far because I didn't want to hit, like, the canyon wall.
You don't hit the canyon wall, Steven.
Exactly. So this thing, you won't be hitting the canyon wall because it will automatically either go up or stop, which is great. There are also new software-based updates, which include improved gesture controls, an updated flight autonomy 2.0 system, and improved active track. Now, most likely the other drones will see this benefit too. There are also 6 new quick shot modes, which do look pretty neat if they actually work. One specifically that I like is called Asteroid. You like this one too.
Cool.
It starts with a spherical image that zooms in as it descends toward the subject, which is really neat.
It's cool.
On the still side, it can capture 32 megapixel spherical panoramas by shooting 25 images within a minute and stitching them together in camera,
No,
which
I thought
means
it was 8 seconds.
it has to be very, very stable.
It takes them in 8 seconds.
8 seconds?
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I put that in my photo news fix.
Oh, okay.
8 seconds. It takes 25 pictures in 8 seconds.
Well, I will say it also has 8 gigabytes of internal storage, which is a very, very welcome feature.
Yeah.
Because there's so many times where we're scrambling to find like a micro SD card. I do wish they could record redundant though, like to the internal SD storage and the micro SD card at the same time. That would be incredible. One new feature I really like is that if you choose to catch it when landing, you can simply flip it over and it turns off.
That's
There's
weird.
no more
I do that
needing-
anyways. I
was
do
that?
that anyways. When I landed, I flip it over anyways.
Todd just chucks it. But there's no more needing another person to catch it while you control it and have to turn it off yourself. You can now just do it with one person,
is
one hand.
Cool.
Casey Neistat did it in his reveal that he did, which is awesome.
Name dropper.
And finally,
It
price-wise,
equals more views, Todd.
it hits shelves this weekend at $799 and comes in white, red, or black colors. And there's also a bundle deal, too. I think for $1,000, you get all kinds of accessories from more blades to extra batteries to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
The question is, though, will this kill the Mavic Pro sales?
Yes.
I mean,
Why wouldn't
why
it?
pay an extra $200 when you get majority of the same features in such a small package?
Yeah, I think that the Air is incredible in terms of size and functionality. It does what the Spark didn't fold up.
Yeah.
The thing when we were at the Spark event, I was like, well, why isn't it folding up?
I do wonder if they were starting to design the Spark before the Mavic Pro or something like that, because that doesn't make sense why they wouldn't make it that small.
We have the Mavic Pro. Todd has a question.
I don't have a question. Another super chat.
Todd?
Matthew Curran, great show, guys. Love seeing all your projects growing. Shameless plug of my photo Instagram at Matthew.Curran.
Wait, how much did he spend for that? though?
$5.
Dude, is that what?
But it's Canadian, so that's like 500 American dollars.
No, it's the other way, Todd. $5 Canadian dollars is
dang
like
it.
$3.88.
All right, well, I mean, then his Instagram is at I am Todd Wolf.
Thank you, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that, man. I will say, getting back to the drone, though, I do wish it did 4K 60, and it only does 2.7K at 60 frames per second. The 4K 60 is a nice
Yeah.
welcome feature, but again, it doesn't do it.
I think the ultimate place to get to is a small size drone that has the capability of doing the 1-inch sensor. The 1-inch sensor is so much better than the 0.2.3 inch.
I will say for the Mavic Pro, we use it all the time because of just portability. We can bring it anywhere, but quality, I really don't like it. I mean, it looks
for
like
the
an
split
advanced
seconds, what
smartphone. Yeah, the color's always off, and it's weird. It's over sharpened still, not as bad as before. But what I don't like about when they claim it's slow-mo, like 120 frames per second at 1080, I do wonder, like, how small is that readout of the sensor?
Yeah.
Is it like the Sony, like, RX100, where it's taking such a small readout that 1,000 frames per second looks like dog shit?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it still using that full half-inch sensor and slowing it down to 120
And we
frames
got
per
to get
second?
some ND filters for it. I think I reached out to Polar Pro. I think they're going to be sending us some ND filters for those things.
It's night and day between, like, jittery-looking footage at 1/1000th of a second shutter speed versus
1/1000th, you mean?
versus the true, double your frame rate. shutter speed.
Double your fun.
Yep.
Is there more?
And we have one last story this
Nuh-uh.
week. Jack White has banned fan
Oh
photography.
shit! I was like, what do you mean, Frank Black?
Banned fan photography from his upcoming live shows, calling it a phone-free, 100% human experience. Now, the new policy will be strictly enforced too, so much that a fan will be kicked out of the gig if seen taking photos. Now, the former White Stripes frontman says, no photos, video, or audio recording devices allowed. We think you'll enjoy looking up from your gadgets for a little while and experience music and our shared love of it
But I'm
in
Jared
person.
Boland. That's what I do. I take photos.
Here's how his master plan will work. The tour will enforce the policy by using patented locking smartphone pouches by a company named Yonder. The pouches allow the phone to be locked and unlocked in certain areas of the venues. What was that?
Over here?
Over yonder. Of the venues called phone zones. Now, once you step foot in the lobby or outside of the actual concert area, you can unlock the case via what they're calling a base station, which, Todd, is the next slide, I believe. I hope there's a lot of them around, too, after the show. See step number 3? You have to, like, unlock it on top of that base station. Because that's going to suck if there's, like, 3 of these around when you're about to leave the venue and you have to wait in this insanely long line.
Are they going to feel you up to make sure that you have your phone?
I guess. I really don't know. I mean, I'm sure you can hide it somewhere.
It's just stupid. Go ahead, keep going.
But my question is, what if you want to post photos from the
No, you
concert
can't.
to show off your
No.
friends and stuff like that? Well, his official tour photographer will post photos and videos after each show to White's website and Instagram account. And White says fans can repost the videos and photos as much as they want from the show.
I don't think fans give a shit about posting somebody else's photos.
I
They want
completely
to post
agree.
their own photos.
I think they want to show their point of view, their perspective of the show. Shaky video, shitty video.
that they'll never look at again.
that they'll never save or look at
Is there
again.
more to this story? Because I want to comment.
The one last thing I have to add about that is the policy only affects White's personal concerts and not upcoming festival appearances, like, for example, Boston Calling.
No, that's London Calling.
And that's it for this story.
So let me. This goes a couple of ways. He's giving you fair warning that you're going to buy a ticket, you know this. So don't go bitching that you go to a Jack White show and you can't use your phone because you have fair warning.
First off, you're going to a Jack White show. You probably have a rotary phone at home. You know what I mean?
Bam, 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 bam.
See, I need my soundboard for the crickets.
Yeah.
That's
No,
coming
it's been
back.
retired.
That's coming back.
Like Josh Homme.
Mm-hmm.
Too soon?
No, I don't
Too
think that's
soon?
too soon.
So look, you have fair warning that if you're going to go to the show, let us know in the comments down below. Would you go to a Jack White show? Do you even give a shit about taking pictures at a Jack White show? And it also sounds like they're not going to allow photographers other than his tour photographer.
Well, that's what I wonder. I don't know how, in terms of press, if you're allowed to photograph still from the pit, stuff like that, if he's even allowing
I
press
think you're
photographers.
going to need to send a cartoonist.
Probably. But I do actually like
Kinda was fun.
that he's turning it off. He's turning off the phones. They're actually living the experience right then and there. I don't mind that at all. It's an unplugged concert. It's like an unplugged wedding, same type of thing, where you're not having the person in front of you holding up their phone the entire time.
So you're
what are they
saying-
going to get anyway from a freaking smartphone?
So you're saying there's a business opportunity here for wedding people to sell Yonder boxes.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, yeah.
If you come to my wedding, you're going to need to put your phone in a Yonder box so that you can't take pictures. And if you try to take pictures during the wedding, we will kick you out.
I haven't been to personally an unplugged wedding, but I've seen a lot of people do it.
What, Todd?
You got to say it
All right,
now.
so we've got a couple comments. Hashtag soundboard lives matter. Hashtag free Todd soundboard. Another one. Hashtag soundboard lives matter. That's all I got.
I don't know.
Todd, are you actually responding back to
No, I'm not saying anything.
No,
back.
that's because they can watch live.
That's
so he
true.
can talk to
Yeah.
them. What? All right, Yonder. Okay, you have fair warning. He's doing this. I don't really give a shit. I don't want to go to a
mind
Jack
either
White
way.
show anyway.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan anyway, but
I got to put my phone where, and I'll put it in your Yonder.
What? Was that Meredith?
I don't know what
That's
that was.
a random.
Is
that's
that
a
Jack
random
White?
Jack White fan.
What about
Sorry.
Meg White?
Mm-hmm.
You can take all the pictures you want at a Meg White show.
Because no one's going.
Is that the end of photo news?
That's the end of photo news.
Really?
Yeah.
This photo news fix has been brought to you by nobody. There's no Todd. No. Dang it. No.
I hate you all.
No. We'll get to that after photo news fix was brought to you by nobody because there's no more. We gotta see Rode microphones. Each and every week we use Rode microphone. We don't have one of those. I figured we might as well throw it to the Rode. We use the Rode broadcasters. We recommend the Rode NT USBs at home if you're looking for an affordable, great microphone. And hashtag send us to down under to see Bindi.
Hashtag send Fro down under.
Yeah, they reached out. They want to bring us down under.
Cool, man.
We can go. I don't think there's enough room for Todd.
Crikey.
I still love these mics, man. It's been years. We've had these for what, 4 years now?
When you
3-ish?
replaced my MX audio
Oh
ones
my God, terrible.
that Ari bought,
Yeah, I hated those.
they were
mics.
$99 a pop, I believe.
Yeah, these ones are much better.
These are $500 pop.
Yeah,
Boom. Hey, is it time for Gears of the Week?
I think it is.
And by Gears of the Week, I mean singular Gear of the Week. This is segment 4. I wrote segment because it's more professional. Oh my God, this is heavier than I thought. Is there a battery in it?
I did put a battery in it just in case. I didn't
You
know if
mean
we
a
wanted to turn it
battery?
on.
Battery. Are camcorders even still alive?
I thought they were dead as well, but they're starting to come back.
So you want to tell everybody what this is?
So this is the Canon XF400. It's their new line of 1-inch sensor
Can I get a
camcorders.
fisheye lens to do skateboarding videos?
They do have a wide adapter for like a fisheye looking lens you could put on there, but no, we would not do that. But this is going to be hopefully our new run and gun shooter for real world reviews and 3 shots or less and any type of follow video that we have to chase Jared around. Because now these camcorders have dual pixel autofocus. And again, it's not dealing with like a small 1/2-inch sensor. We're dealing with a 1-inch sensor, which is the same as what we were using in the XC10.
And then one of the failures of the XC10 is it doesn't have dual pixel AF.
The failure was it didn't have dual pixel AF. The AF in general just sucked, especially if there was a highlight behind
Though we
you
got
or
great
something.
result. You got great results.
Well,
with it.
I would have to rack and manually rack to actually. I would manually focus at that point if it wouldn't autofocus. So there was a lot of stuff I had to do to make it work, but generally it did a good job. But this one will hopefully do much better. This is a 4K shooter. It has a pretty high data rate as well. The lens is like up to the 400 millimeter or 35 millimeter equivalent, I believe, and it's a f4.4 lens or something like that, where we were dealt with a 5.6
It's 4 point whatever all the way through.
on the Canon
It's
XC10.
got some
no,
weight
it's,
to it.
It's I think it's a 2.8 on the wide end, up to like a 4.4 or 4.8 or something like
That's
that.
not bad.
Built-in ND and everything.
Built-in ND filter. I think it's like a 3-step built-in ND filter.
It's
You got
$3,000. isn't it?
legitimate
It's got-
audio inputs there.
It's got legit audio, XLR inputs, 2 inputs. Now, this top handle you can actually purchase separately if you just want to purchase the camcorder itself. Saves you a couple $100. It's also dual recording. It has redundant recording, so it has 2 SD slots recording at the same time. You can record proxies if you want. It's got a powered zoom, which is my favorite.
15x zoom.
It's a
What's this
15x
knob?
zoom.
Is this your gain?
It can be a custom button in general. It could be really anything.
And you can look through the viewfinder and the
Yes.
screen at the same time.
So it does have an EVF built in and a 3-inch tiltable screen. Actually, this might be a bigger. This is like a 4-inch screen. Nah, it's like 3.5.
It's probably 60 by 9, 3.5.
Yeah.
That has some weight to it.
It's a little hefty. Yeah, it's not super light. It's probably
You know what you
2.5
need with
pounds or
that?
so.
A mono chair.
A Chairpod.
Yes,
a
please.
Chairpod.
Whee!
Got
but
it.
I will say, Todd.
And action.
I will say the EVF in this camera, the resolution's pretty shitty.
Oh, really?
Looking through it, it's very small. It's not very detailed. But if we're shooting in, bright, sunny situations, it's great. So I'm looking forward to it. I never thought I would say I would shoot on a camcorder again, but
Well,
for what it is,
1-inch sensor, mega zoom, better dual pixel AF, better than the XC10.
it's a decked out It's what I wanted in the XC10 and it never
well,
was.
what would make an XC10 better is a
Dual pixel.
APS-C size sensor.
APS-C sensor. I think if it was a native EF mount where I could put like a 24-105 lens on it or something like that.
Or they built
I want to
in
put 2.8 glass on it. I don't want to deal with a 2.8 to 5.6 variable aperture lens. So yeah, I mean, this one's great. We have to buy some more batteries for it, but I will say it's not cheap. It's $3,000.
$3,000.
It's pretty pricey for a camcorder, but again, it's high end.
And I'll give Canon didn't send us this. B&H sent us this.
Yes.
B&H actually has a really good program for creators where if you reach out and you want to review a piece of gear, they'll ship it to you, and then you ship it back in about 2 weeks. How many weeks?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. We did the same thing with the Livestream HD 550. B&H hooked us up with that,
And then we
bought one used. So they're awesome with getting us gear to review. They're awesome with that because Canon couldn't even get us this.
Also, real quick about resolution, I didn't finish saying it does 4K 60, and it does 1080 at 120 frames per second slow-mo. So, I mean, it's really all you can ask for these days.
And that is Gear of the Week.
That's it.
This Gear of the Week has been brought to you by My Gear Vault, the best way to input, organize, and protect your gear. And the good thing about that is you want to protect your gear. I will say My Gear Vault celebrated its 1-year anniversary of launching on January 23rd.
I got it a birthday present, too, and it didn't take it home with itself.
Yeah. Thank everybody for using My Gear Vault. If you are looking for equipment-only coverage, you can now do that. So you can get your business owner's policy if you're a business, but if you're somebody who just owns a lot of gear and you want more protection than what a homeowner's policy could do, then you can get gear-only coverage. You just won't have the liability, but it's an option. So go take the questionnaire, and remember that when you hit submit questionnaire, you're probably going to get a phone call from somebody. They will identify themselves as My Gear Vault, but you are going to get a call because that's how they can get more information and help you get the right coverage, and you can ask all your questions. Good, Steven?
Good.
So that is that segment. Segment 5, now it's time for Flying Solo, Todd.
Ooh, the fun part.
This segment is where you get to ask your questions, and we all get to give it answers.
And
Flying
it's complete
Solo.
chaos in studio.
Is it?
Sweet chaos.
Sometimes.
So we'll do this for like 10-ish minutes. We'll see how it works out.
At
And
10-ish minutes, I guarantee will be like 30 minutes in the end.
I had to pee since we started.
Well, that's
Really?
normal.
Yeah, I had pho for lunch
Pho?
again.
Well, we had a lot of drone stuff today, so Chaos TV was curious what kind of projects, jobs are you using drones for? So, what would you use a drone for? We generally use it for like establishing shots, big wide open stuff, buildings, and I feel like it's great for that sort of thing.
It's mainly establishing shots for the most part to show, like when we were in Arizona for the Sedona A7R3 review, I showed it to say, hey, we're in Sedona, and one quick reveal shot. I actually shot a lot with the drone there, and to be honest, I only used like 2 or 3 clips. I didn't go nuts with it. I also think the footage didn't look great just because we were so limited in the time that we could go up in the air. And again, the slow motion footage in the Mavic Pro, I just don't think it looks that good.
Phone call.
Is that Papa Duke's?
Hello, Dad. We're live on the show.
We are live on the show. Well, it would be good for everybody to watch the Sedona
Oh, he's watching.
7R real world review.
Wha-
'Cause I'm just
You know
only
what? He
12
did not
minutes
get a
into
super
it,
chat.
But I was just going to say that you and Steven do incredible work. It's really great stuff.
Well, thank you.
Tell your audience to make sure they go and they watch it because they can learn a lot of stuff. And not only can they learn a lot of stuff, the production is wonderfully done. That's what looks great.
All right. Thank
Okay, go back to shooting. Talk to you later.
you. All right. Bye.
Bye.
That was very nice.
was
That
good
was
timing.
nice. All right, so I got another question,
great.
super chat
Thanks,
question
Dad.
from Adam Forsberg.
How much from Adam Forsberg? Because all I care about
$5.
Adam's always
from
commenting.
Adam.
is it's his name's Forsberg. Is it in kroner again?
It's in dollars. He asked, any plans to update the getting out of auto guide? The information is still good, but it doesn't stand up to the production quality of the newer guides.
So that's true. That was shot
That's because
terribly.
Todd shot it.
on
I
a
mean, we've been talking about that for years.
that was shot terribly on a 60D with an 18 to 105.
Hashtag
Jared's
crushed it.
Favorite lens.
I didn't really know Todd very well, and he comes out on the shoot with no good glass, and I'm like, you're going to shoot me with no 2.8s?
I couldn't imagine the look on your face.
But anyway,
He didn't even talk to me sideways. I would have knocked him out.
it's a great question. We've been talking about not updating. Well, actually, we did talk about making a full
We did
new
talk
one of
about a
those.
new one.
I don't know that I want to make a full new one of those as much as doing a photo shoot style guide
Would that-
where I go out on, say, 5 different shoots and run through the process of all of this aspects of going through the shoots, from pre going to the shoots to what gear I'm taking to on the shoot working with me and hearing the pros and the cons, and then post-production and doing that 5 times. And then there will be so much learning through that.
Yeah.
And then you can watch the beginner guide to getting out of auto.
Exactly.
Look, that information doesn't change. The quality of that video guide still looks great, mostly, and
Mostly?
mostly.
That's funny.
But I wanted to say something about the drone thing before we got to the
Oh,
last
yeah.
thing. Was that with drones, it's a matter of what are you going to do with it. It's the same thing with GoPros. What are you actually going to do with them?
It's not as simple as just putting it up in the air and literally getting like a reveal shot. There's a lot of moves that you need to get yourself familiar with and learn how to use the controls. And I'm still learning.
Dude, but when I flew the
It's
Spark,
way easier than it was a couple years ago.
So
but
easy to fly these things.
It is.
So easy.
And they do have these new gestures and active track modes, but in my opinion, the active track doesn't work that well. Now, who knows with the Mavic
we haven't tried
Air.
with the new one.
Yeah, the new one we haven't tried yet, but I never use any of the pre-programmed stuff.
But
personally.
I would use, like, if you could, well, you can draw a line on the screen and have it go do that stuff.
I haven't personally really used it.
We need to play around with more of those modes, because that new mode where it turns into the asteroid
the
mode,
asteroid thing looks awesome.
it would look good. It will be overdone, but it will look good.
And it does all that in camera, like in the file, or is that something you have to bring into like a DJI?
No, it does it.
That's really cool.
It does it. Todd, yes.
Well, Mr. Dave Stromberger threw us $10 on Super Chat.
Too bad we don't have a soundboard.
Exactly. and in keeping with that, he says, keep up the good work, guys. Also, give Todd his soundboard back.
We don't have any inputs for that, so no.
We absolutely do.
Todd's just going to pick all the questions that have to do with the soundboard.
But I do have another good question, though, from Galveston School of Cooking.
Ooh.
Hey-yo.
They asked the all-important question, Final Cut or Premiere?
We have this debate all the time.
Well, me, being that I edit all the time,
I mean,
well, I will
Class
say
A editor right
I will
here.
say I will say one thing, that when I go to export something from Final Cut, it's lightning.
Dude, because you're just exporting a video file.
I say that compared to doing it in like ScreenFlow or something.
Oh, of course.
ScreenFlow is going to take 28, 90, 30 minutes.
ScreenFlow is also giving you like a 444 ProRes file, insane quality, where you're compressing like H.264.
Well, give us it. Like Steven uses.
I mean, it's personal preference. I use Premiere. Todd uses Final Cut. We both love using both. I mean, Todd, you actually use both.
I jump back and forth
Yeah,
all the time.
I
mean,
don't.
Final Cut is definitely a different animal in terms of just different things that it does. Whereas a lot of Final Cut Premiere is a lot like Final Cut used to be nowadays. I call the newest Premiere like Final Cut 8 to me, but I like them both. They both give me what they want. I like Premiere for longer form things like TV show, music video, movie stuff. Short form YouTube videos, I like Final Cut.
I just hope that with the iMac Pro coming, that Premiere can take advantage of all the cores we're getting.
Oh, I think it definitely will eventually.
Yeah.
I don't think right away, but yeah. I mean, the thing I like about Premiere is that it just round trips with all the Adobe programs. Whether I want to edit a clip in Adobe Audition real quick, dynamic link, come right back, saves it. I don't even have to resave the file. Like, it literally resaves it in Premiere when I edit it in Adobe Audition. There's no thinking about it. Same with After Effects if I go into that, or Photoshop or whatever.
How odd is it that my dad literally just called? He's watching that video out of nowhere.
It's cool.
And he enjoys it's
very thoughtful of
that
him.
stuff. Oh, he'll tell me when he likes it. He'll tell me when he doesn't like it too. But that was.
I mean, that's you.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
It's true. But that's those videos. It's almost like the show. Like when we did the zoo and I was playing with the goats and stuff. Todd was right when we showed nice sound. When we showed Todd that video, he's like, it was one smidgen step away from being a Frono's Photo show, where if you interviewed somebody and interviewed people,
Interview a zookeeper, it would have been a show.
We're getting there.
I mean, there's only also so much we can do between the two of us. By the time we left, it was dark and stormed, and we didn't have time.
Crushed it. Thank God we left.
I crushed it.
We did. That was a great. So, but that's all part of the process of getting to the place that we can focus on those videos. Like,
Yeah, they're just
like
long form and
pancakes and the motorcycle guy and Bedia and Norman Porter's and all that stuff.
they're fun. They're interesting to watch.
They take more
entertaining.
time, but I think they're well worth it, and we'll get there.
Well, I mean, the biggest question to the audience is: do you mind some filler content here and there, and then a big long form video, or do you literally just want long form videos and that's it? I mean, I love the Fix. I love flying solo.
Well,
I
Fix
love all
is here
of
to
those
stay
things.
because Fix is great.
RAWtalk kind of keeps everyone that's, if they're more advanced, they can keep and hang out with us and chat away, and it's always been here.
We definitely know real world reviews and 5-minute portraits are the thing.
Yeah.
That's what sets us apart because our reviews.
Takes forever, but yeah.
The reviews are what I would want to watch. I want to watch somebody out there shooting, not just talking, but shooting, showing, doing, and you can see the results. So
I agree.
That's always been our game plan. Todd.
Todd,
yes.
what else we got?
Well, Ted White just threw us $10.
Is he related to Jack White?
Well, maybe, but he threw us $10, and he asked the question regarding the Canon XF400.
Oh, okay.
Is there really a compelling reason to use dedicated video cameras any longer? I shoot storm weather photography, but may add short video. Stick with DSLR or question mark?
Well, so
Either or, I'd say.
we haven't used this yet in terms of running and gunning. If you can use a DSLR, and I mean, this is everything built in.
This to me is meant more for like photojournal or just journalism in general, like quick,
Documentary
fast-paced,
style, for
documentary
sure.
style stuff. You just got to get and go.
Oh, I turned it on.
It should be better,
off
yeah.
now.
So it's up to you. Like, are these storms that he's chasing, you know, is he getting what he wants out of the DSLR? Is he having to manually focus? Is it a Nikon camera that he's doing video on? Is it a Sony or a Canon? It all depends. If he's getting what he's, you know, if he's switching between photos and video, I don't know what he needs, but
The only reason
They
we
both work.
we all thought that camcorders were dead.
I
But-
would have, again, never thought I'd be using a camcorder
But the
again.
thing is, for when we run and gun, a lot of people don't even realize the difference between the DSLR sometimes that when we use it versus not. You don't want to have a C300 rig on your shoulder all the time.
No.
That just gets
Never again.
heavy and it's a lot of extra work and it's a lot of strain because I don't want to put that shit on my shoulder ever.
I mean, the image quality is phenomenal.
It is. But when we do the stand-up shots, we can put a DSLR up there and do that and lock that off. Like with the A7R3 Real World Review.
Yeah.
Back here at the factory, we used
Yeah.
the Nikon D850 for those stand-up shots.
Locked off DSLRs are great. I think running and gunning, something like that is way better to use. Only because
It's a trade-off.
You know, you got a DSLR. All right, so then maybe you need to put a monitor on it. Then you got to put some sort of rig so you can maybe have two inputs for a mic, for mics and stuff like that. If you're Frankensteining your DSLR to run and gun with, this might be a better option.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
If you had an XC10, then I think you would like this better than an XC10.
For sure.
Dual pixel AF. All right, what else we got, Tiad?
Well, Lianono 1787.
Sweet name.
Tamron 70 to 200 2.8 G2. Worth getting instead of the Nikon or Sigma.
Ooh.
Well, the pricing is different. We know that.
way different.
So I can
We haven't used the Sigma.
unequivocally tell you I've used it. I can
Have you?
That's not new.
Oh, the Sigma's the old one.
I can unequivocally tell you that I would take the Tamron today
Yeah.
over a Sigma because it's yesterday's Sigma. I don't know why Sigma hasn't put out a Sigma 70-200 2.8 Sport mode model. For whatever reason, they haven't. But we used the G2. We did a real-world review of that G2 compared to... no, I didn't compare it. I just put it both on the D5
D500
and the
D5.
D500.
Yep.
And it did... Oh, no, I had both lenses, didn't I?
No, I think you just had two.
No, I had to have
you
both
did have
because
both
I had to
lenses.
compare them after.
Yeah, you did.
And it was very difficult in certain situations to tell the difference.
You did a blind test, and I think a couple times you liked the Tamron over the
I
Nikon
liked
and
the
vice versa.
punchiness, but on some the Tamron focus was slightly off. On others, the Nikon focus was slightly off. Like that's the thing. It mostly comes down to the human error. The one concern is there's got to be a difference between a $2,800 70-200 and a $1,300 70-200.
Wow.
But
More than double the price. I forgot about that.
But you can't go wrong with the I will flat out say you can't go wrong with the Tamron.
I will say, though, if you are upgrading from like a 7200 VR2, the Nikon one, we did that comparison between the 2 and the 3, or the newer version, whatever that was called now. Huge difference in sharpness. The sharpness between the 2 and the 3 just blew it out of the water. It almost looks like it's not sharp, your 2.
Yeah.
Now, who knows from the years, or you got a bet, not the best copy.
Meh.
Lenses are all different.
We'll take a couple more.
But
What
the
do we got?
Tamron is definitely a viable, great option.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we haven't used the 24-70 or the 18-400 yet.
We haven't.
Well, S. Lang asked, what advice would you give to someone starting a YouTube channel? In other words, what mistakes did you make, or what would you do differently if you were just starting from scratch?
Luckily, I'm not starting from scratch.
It's a tough
quality and consistency.
Yeah, literally, Todd is closer to the beginning than anybody because he's got Morgan making videos. Well, she's choosing to make
Hashtag
videos.
just crossed 10,000. Hashtag just crossed 10,000.
Did she really just cross 10,000?
Last night.
Did she know it, or did you
She
tell
didn't even
her?
care. I told her this morning. She's like, okay.
Okay, Dada.
Okay.
I would say thumbnails and titles are the most important thing.
And relevant content. I mean,
obviously the
Morgan's content,
sure.
Anything that's like, what I do before I go to bed. Like, you would be like, why would anybody give a shit about that?
Well, tweens do.
30,000 people later.
30,000 views later.
Yeah, Todd, what's the latest one? My night routine or something?
What just went up about 15 minutes ago was what's in my makeup bag.
Oh, how's that one
Kids.
doing?
Crushing already.
Is it?
Yeah, of course.
Because before you would just ask friends, like, what are you wearing to school, or what's in your makeup bag? And now these days it's like you freaking search YouTube.
It makes me want to punch myself in the face when I put up a video and
That
it's
would
just,
be a good. That would probably get a lot of views.
what, abuse?
You punching yourself in the
Punching
face.
myself in the face?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, because I'm like comparing myself to Morgan. Why can't I do that? Why can't I put what's in my dance bag?
You should do a room tour. Here's my clothes on the floor.
Oh
I'm
my
going to
God.
put these on in
Jared's
the
room
morning.
tour. Here's
I
my
put on
fold-up
the
table.
same jeans as I took off next morning.
Now I have a
Thank you.
hole in them.
Exactly.
Do you
in the
still have
crotch.
like that whole pile of just bills and stuff that you got to shred in your corner?
It's not a pile. It's in a box that's overflowing.
It's overflowing. It's like a mountain.
We got
Yeah,
another
sledding down
super
it.
chat from Blue Tack 318, 5 pounds, which is like $1,000.
That's a
I
lot
think.
of dollars.
Yeah, that's like $1,000.
Thank
No
you.
question. Just great to have RAWtalk back, but please give Todd his soundboard back. I don't know what to tell you.
Anything else before we wrap it up, Todd?
That's pretty much all I got. That's all I got.
All right. Well, we thank you guys for coming back to the RAWtalk. Don't forget to listen. Oh, I forgot to say earlier on that we're working on different schedules, trying to get content out specific times each week. Like you can see a Photo News Fix or RAWtalk's hitting on Friday. We're working with the Flying Solos, and there will be more critiques coming and 3 shots or less and all of that good stuff. So please subscribe. Please like everything as much as you can. Like, subscribe, comment, share. That helps push it out to more people so Morgan doesn't get more subscribers than me. And then, dude,
You had to tell him, Todd. You had to tell him.
dude, one day Morgan's
had him
going
in
to
a
be
good
at like
mood.
1 million. One day she'll like double. She'll have 10,000 subscribers one day and then 20 the next because somebody shouts her out that has 1 million subscribers.
Dan and I are editing for her at Todd's house.
Exactly.
You'll be like, Fro Factory's now called Morgan Factory.
You're welcome.
That's going to be it. What'd you guys think? You like this show? I need to stop looking at Todd like I'm talking to Todd. I'm talking to the camera. You guys enjoy it?
Yeah, I mean, do you guys like the new TV setup, the whole set in general, the
Steven's
Todd-
haircut.
my haircut, Todd taking questions live,
The content?
the content,
Definitely
obviously,
need the
yeah.
soundboard back, apparently.
The B-roll during photo news. We spent a lot of time pre-production doing all of that.
Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget, you can download the audio. Go find us on Spotify.
Yes.
You can find us on iTunes in the Google Play Store. Just look for Frono's Photo. I think I changed the title.
did.
It now has the Frono's Photo logo on there because
It's not just RAWtalk.
Yeah, there's other audio that we put up. We put up Flying Solo separately from the other videos that I make as audio only, and I'm thinking of doing some other things too. So go do that.
We put the excellent NASA interview that you did.
Yep,
That was incredible.
Interviews will go there as well. So, anything else?
You did talk about Wheel Fro, right?
Yeah, I
you
did talk about the Wheel of Fro earlier.
That's it. Yeah.
So I'll
We'll
do
be
my
back
outro
every week.
Todd, I'm going to do my outro, and then you put up the thing.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You got it?
I already got that.
All right, guys. This has been RAWtalk episode 236, all on our way to
69.
237
269.
next week.
$269.
That's where we're going to leave it. Jared Poland, FroKnowsPhoto.com. See ya.
Click something on the screen. Just click it.
Please subscribe. Oh, will you subscribe to me, please?
Go ahead and click that.
Last week's RAWtalk. Well, there wasn't a last week's
You
RAWtalk.
should probably click that right there, man.